All right, welcome back to the Mr. Excel podcast. I'm Bill Jelen. For the last 3 episodes, we've talked about using dollar signs and cell references to switch between relative, absolute, and the 2 kinds of mixed references. Now today, we have to calculate a sales commission. And while this is a fictitious example, I actually used to work in a sales department, and every year the vice president of sales would come up with the world's most outlandish commission plan. And our goal was to try and create a formula in Excel that would keep track of this. In this fictitious plan, we have a base rate in B1. Everyone gets 2% of sales. And then in column C, there's another rate that's dependent on the product. So you sell one product, you get an additional 5%, another product, an additional 8%. And then our fictitious VP of sales gave an additional bonus factor that varies from month to month to month. If we hit our monthly sales targets, they get more than 100% of commission. So in this case, the bonus factors are up here in cells E1, F1, and G1. And we need to create a formula in H6 that can be copied to the entire plan for all months. And let's see if we can do that using relative, absolute, and mixed references. Now in this case, our base rate up in cell B1 is going to need an absolute reference. We're always going to point to B1. The product rate, which is going to be in column C, needs to be locked to column C, but as we copy this formula from H to I to J, we want to make sure that we always point at C, whichever row. So I'm going to use $C6 to get that portion of it. The bonus factor, which is always in row 1, but can float from column E to F to G, in that case, I'm going to use $1, putting the $sign just before the 1 to make sure to freeze to row 1, but to allow the formula to point to either E, F, or G as I copy this formula over. And then finally, the relative component is the sales, and E6, as I copy the formula over or down, I want to make sure that I point to the right sales area. So I take this formula, copy it to my other cells, and we can check that as it's copied, are we always pointing at the right place? In this case, for March, we are getting the March sales times that base rate up in B1 times the product rate in C8 times the kicker, in this case, row 1 of column G corresponding to March. So there's a formula that uses all 4 reference types: relative, absolute, mixed where the row is locked, and mixed where the column is locked, in order to create one formula that we can copy for our entire plan. Thanks for joining us. Stop back tomorrow for another tip from Mr. Excel.